Hello and thanks for joining me. It's August 16th, 2022. I'm in Norwich, Connecticut. I'm going to do a walking tour of Lowthorpe Meadows, and this is an interesting architectural, I don't know, bus station. I don't know what it is. Let's see. Let's read the sign. I'm going to zoom in on this sign here. So if you want to freeze frame this thing, you can look at all the names and everything, but I don't see a date on it, but it says Lowthorpe Meadows, and there's a big description, and it's all there. But I'm going to do a tour of the whole meadow today. As we walk down Washington Street, I used to call this Washington Street Extension, but the sign over there just says Washington Street. There is a view of the meadow, Lowthorpe Meadow. It's a beautiful meadow. It's really overgrown right now. They mow it a couple of times a year. I wouldn't call it mowing. It's more of a tractor comes in, like farm equipment, and removes all the plant life down there, but right now it's overgrown. We've had a terrible drought, but it hasn't seemed to affect the meadow in any negative way. There's some beautiful homes on this street, some very historic, nice architecture. You can see directly across Washington Street, right there. Very nice house. There's another interesting home. It's more of the modern era. The other one's down the road here. I'll probably walk down there a little later. A lot of them were built in the 1700s. All right, let's see. There's a sign over here. What does it say? Please help keep paths clear. Well, we're going to do that. We're not going to block anything. Let's take a walk over here. I'm going a comprehensive, full walking tour of Lowthorpe Meadows. This is the backyard of somebody's absolutely gorgeous house with a really cool gate, wooden gate there. Very picturesque. There's another view of the meadow. Beautiful trees. This is an underappreciated Norwich, Connecticut gem. I don't know why people don't really come down here and utilize it as much. I think they should. I strongly encourage, if you've never been down here, I mean, look at it. Oh, this is glorious. There's all kind of, I mean, there's a rabbit right in front of me. I'm going to walk real slow. This is a wide-angle lens. He's off in the distance. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, there he goes. He's taking off. I don't know 100% if you can see that or not. Let me raise this thing up a little bit, get a view of that beautiful meadow. Look at those trees over there. Gorgeous trees, and you know, the foliage and the plant life, and there's birds, and I mean, imagine the animals. And look at this thing. I mean, a lot of these are just, you know, obviously they're indigenous to this area, but a lot of these are just kind of, I don't want to say weeds, wildflowers. That's the word I'm looking for. So, you know, look at this little thing in here. There's an animal that's been in there. That's wide enough for a deer. So there's all kind of, let's zoom in. There's bees. I don't know how close I can get with this camera. There's bees in there, and look at the colors. I mean, you know, you get hone in on this thing a little bit here. This yellow. It's a little breezy. Hopefully we can pick that up. I mean, there's just tons of, I don't know the names. I wish I knew the names of these flowers, wildflowers and everything. But they're absolutely beautiful. They really, really are. There's a small wooden footbridge up ahead here. And it's well maintained down here. It's overgrown, but the paths are always maintained. I assume the city does it. I don't know, but I would assume the city of Norwich does that. Look at that. Nice. It's kind of a little swampy right out in this area. Yeah, that's right. There is a little stream. Although right now the drought is probably, yeah, the stream is, I don't see a drop down there right now. That's due to the drought. But we'll just, we'll keep hoping for rain soon because we really need it. Let's take a look at this meadow over here, this section of the meadow. I mean, I've walked around out there when it's, you know, when it's all clear. It's really nice, but it's kind of nice now. I would say it's about 5 feet high. In some areas, it's 6 feet high because I'm 6 foot, a little taller than 6 feet in height. So a little bit of my right on the right here, like these weeds or whatever they are, they're over my head, so they're about 7 feet tall. As we walk right down the heart of Lowthorpe Meadow in the Norwich town section of Norwich, Connecticut, on a slightly overcast but beautiful day. And there's a butterfly. Can we get this thing, a monarch butterfly? I don't know. If you can see it in the distance, good, because there's another rabbit. This place is loaded with rabbits. Let me take a short turn here. I'm not gonna go all the way up. I'll just take a step or two. All right, there's a home that was probably built in the 1700s or maybe earlier right there. It's a property, big, beautiful property. I remember when it was for sale. It wasn't that long ago. And it was on the market, and somebody bought that home. Another view down there, wide panoramic view of Lowthorpe Meadows. And we're going to walk right down the center of this beautifully maintained path once again. I mean, there's raspberries and there's all kind of, the plant life is amazing. Oh yeah, these things here, I forget what we used to call these. Some kind of silkweed or something like that. You know, there used to be a path to my left. I'm not seeing it. Wait a minute. Hang on a second here, folks. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's still here. Yep, there's a path that goes up here. I guess if people live in the area, up in some of those houses up there, I'm not going to go up the path, just a few steps, but right there, it's a kind of a nice scene anyways. But people live up there in those beautiful homes, those historic old homes. And that's a nice path where they can come down and walk in the meadow every day. If they want exercise, they can walk their dogs. I see people walking their dogs down here quite often. It's dogs are allowed, as far as I know. As I said moments ago, I've seen many people walking their dogs. More flowers, wildflowers. Again, this camera, this is not going to do them justice, but if you can come down here, you can see them for yourself with the naked eye, and it's It's really, really impressive. This leads over to kind of a little mall area in Norwich. I'm not going to go there, but I do want to see. There is a bench over here. Right here. This bench has been here as long as I can remember. There's a shot of it right there. It's a real old bench. The date is what, 1827? I don't know. I'll just sweep it real quick. And maybe we can make out the lettering. I don't know. Some of it is damaged or worn out. But it's been there ever since I've been living in Norwich, and I've been here my whole life, so. All right, there's another kind of a nice shot. Everywhere you look around here, it's beautiful. I mean, there's no question about it. Everywhere you look, 360 degrees. All of it gorgeous. So far, I'm the only one walking around out here. Sometimes I see other people kind of hiking around. Okay, I could go behind. There's a pond back here. And I'm not going to go there right now. Boy, there's also a stream here that's non-existent because of this drought, this severe drought. But let's take a walk down here. This is I would consider this area right here the normal, conventional hiking path if somebody was going to come down to Lowthorpe Meadow. Boy, that's the lowest. Okay, the pond is non-existent. There's usually frogs and fish and all kind of stuff. This drought is utterly devastated this pond. It's just mud. There's nothing there but mud. Get a look at that. Whoa. I mean, that's kind of, I don't ever remember that being dead dry like it is right now. To the left of me right here would be kind of a, very active stream. It's bone dry right now. That's the desperation situation we're in. Wow. That big track out there, but that's a turtle or something that lives around here, because there are some huge turtles. Look at that. I mean, this is I don't know. This is historic as far as I can, from personal memory. It's never been dry until now. And the stream, not a trickle. Another little footbridge over here. I think the city of Norwich put these in. They're relatively new. Maybe they were put in a couple of years ago. There's two of them. They're both new. All right, you can hear birds chirping out in the distance there. This is kind of another section of Lowthorpe Meadows. All right, we'll do a wide shot from this angle. What does this thing say? No outlet. Yeah, there's certain paths in here without outlets, like right there. It's like a bird house. Anyways, there's a beautiful sweeping view of Lowthorpe Meadows on a nice summer's day in August of 2022 in Norwich, Connecticut. And let's see that little cement. That's a cement, like a big pipe, and it's bone dry. Right there would be a really nice stream right now, and it would really be, filled with little fish. And there's another rabbit up ahead. It'd be filled with little fish, ducks. I've seen ducks, and I've seen everything in there. So, the wildlife is probably hurting. They're under a lot of stress right now because of this drought. All right, let's take another. Here's another different view of Lowthorpe Meadows. This is an entirely different section. There's an ancient cemetery back there. We'll work our way up there. I'm not going to do maybe I'll walk through the ancient cemetery, but I'll have to save that for a separate comprehensive video, because it's one of the most important cemeteries in the country from a historic vantage point. There's the stream that no longer exists. Let's see if I can hold this thing up way over my head and get another view of some of that meadow. All right. I'm thinking the visuals on this particular video are going to be real nice, just based on what I'm seeing here. I hear a radio in the distance, or some form of, I don't know if it's people talking or a loud radio or whatever, but, and here's some more flowers. And let's zoom in on these. These are beautiful. There's bees and everything all over the place right now. There's grapes, wild grapes growing in here. Raspberries, you name it. Okay, let's proceed. Look at this. There's another rabbit. I mean, this is a real wide lens. Again, I've said that. I'm sorry for repeating myself, but I'm going to really snap. Here he goes. I don't know if you could see it. He's way out there. These wide lenses tend to make it tough to see things in the distance, small objects. It makes it hard to see. Oh my God, there's a big deer. Let's take a look. Let's see if we get this deer on video. He's looking right at me. There he is, right in front of me. A beautiful deer. Right there. He's frozen. He's just staring me down. My friend, I hope you get enough water. I hope you find a place to drink. I know you're dry. What a beautiful animal. As we proceed up this section of Lowthorpe Meadows. I mean, I look around and the plants up here, it's a little drier up here. I think the ground appears to be more saturated or moist or swampy down the other section of the meadow, because up here the plants, appear to be really kind of wilting, and the grass I'm walking on all of a sudden is it's all burnt out and everything. I mean, look at this. When I say wilting, I mean just, I don't know if the camera will do it justice, but yeah, there's a big difference between this section and the other section of Lowthorpe Meadows. This stuff is dying out here. Look at this. I mean, this is these leaves. It should be flourishing right now. It's crispy, dead. All right, let's take a walk up to the ancient cemetery. Again, I'm not gonna. Let's get a look at this. This is kind of cool. The road up here. If you walk straight up there, you go to what used to be the home of a gentleman with the last name of Huntington. He signed the Declaration of Independence, and he used to live up there in the house. We'll walk by. Okay, there's another path down here. This path leads to that mall. If you went straight through here, there's a little mall. There's medical buildings and insurance companies and things in there. Been there for many years. All right, this is a real wide swath we're going through right now. Whoa, there's bees coming out of the ground. You got to be careful around here. I don't want to run into a big swarm of bees. Might make for some interesting video, but I don't want to get attacked by bees right now. There's a flag, beautiful flag right there. It's not very windy, so the flag's not blowing in the wind at the moment. Okay, the city is doing some work. Part of the bridge down here needs to be repaired. Let's take a look at this, what used to be a stream. It'll be a stream in the future. There it is. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's dead dry. If you depended on that stream, like a lot of animals do, you'd be in a little trouble. All right, there's a little breeze whipping up slightly, so the flag is flowing a little bit. One thing I do want to take a look at, here's the kind of a sweeping panoramic view of that nice ancient cemetery. But this one, I can't pass this up without mentioning it. And if I do a narrated walking tour down here, this will be like one of the probably the most important stop. Samuel Huntington, right there, Governor of Connecticut, signer of the Declaration of Independence. All right? That's not bad in my book. That's a pretty good little, pretty good little thing to write on your resume. Signer of the Declaration of Independence. He's buried right there. That's the top of the very large area. It's all fenced in, beautifully painted. See if we can get a close look at some of this ironwork on this fence. But yeah, there it is. Okay, I'm going to cruise through this cemetery. I mean, this is extremely historic people, or historic hallowed grounds we're walking on here right now. It's an American flag. A lot of Revolutionary War veterans are buried in here. I'm walking up a steep hill right now. All right, I'm not gonna go. I'll just give you a few views here and there. I just can't pass it up. This is some kind of a different type of monument of some sort. There's this one's always kind of caught my eye. There's a hand. See that hand reaching over the top of the tombstone? It's the name on it's Bella Peck. She died in 1850 and she lived to be 92 years old. But that's just one tiny taste of this cemetery and the significance. There's a lot of Huntington names up here. Philadelphia, you know. This goes back to, this is Revolutionary War era we're talking about. There's a absolutely massive tree that seems to be dying because of this drought again. Look at this thing. It's huge. Wow. I just got to check out this one little thing over here. Yeah, this tree is growing right into this. It's covering part of this headstone. Anyways, I'm going to walk down through. I'm tempted to just go all over the place in this cemetery. I'm going to do that. That'll be a separate project. I have other videos of this cemetery on my YouTube channel, but they don't. It's not really a walk and talk. It's more of a film with kind of music in the background and stuff. But All right, here's an absolutely beautiful wall, and over the wall it reveals the former residence of the signer of one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, Governor Huntington. As we walk down, exiting this cemetery, there's again this beautiful wall. Let me get right up next to this thing. It's maintained perfectly. And this is kind of neat. There's a couple of steps built into the wall. If you wanted to take a couple of steps, you could 1, 2, 3 right on top of that wall. And there's a beautiful gate straight ahead that leads into this cemetery. It's locked at the moment. They rarely open it, but if there was a special occasion of some kind, hopefully you can make out that some of these patterns or whatever on this thing. Let's take a look at some of the metal work or the iron work on this gate. See what we can get in here for this video. I love this thing. And on the front is, okay, I'll do a quick sweep if you want to freeze frame the video. There's a couple of plaques, Revolutionary War soldiers buried here. Hopefully I'm panning this in an appropriate fashion where you can see, if you freeze frame everything. There's a lot of Leffingwells, Lathrops, Jones, Hyde, Barrett, Bliss, Carew, Carpenter, Huntington, Griswold. The names, it just goes on and on. All right, let's look at this slate sidewalk, real nice. I'm on the Benedict Arnold Trail, by the way. Up ahead of me is that home I mentioned. I'm gonna take a walk up there, get a little bit closer. All right, here it is. Let's take a look at this sign. Samuel Huntington. Another freeze frame situation. Some guy beeping his horn at me. No idea why. Okay, let's see what we got up here. Okay, there's an inscription on the top step. Home of Samuel Huntington, Governor, 1786 to 1796. Signer of the Declaration of Independence, marked by DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution. And there's also a name. Let me get this out of here. Welty. There's also stamped on there. Probably somebody that used to live here. Let's see here. I'm going to walk right smack up to this thing. Really incredible. Look at this well. This is interesting. Well built by Lieutenant Thomas Tracy, 1660, 20 feet deep, leader pipe connected to well. Get a load of that. And there's also a couple of lions. Kind of, you know, decorative lions out here kind of protecting the property. There's one of those boot scraping iron boot scraping I don't know, device or whatever you would call it. Again, slate sidewalk. Beautiful. Those things last forever, we know that. Sign to my right The Governor Samuel Huntington Mansion. Very cool. I am currently walking down East Town Street in what is officially designated as the Norwich Town section of Norwich, Connecticut. Light traffic, the occasional car wafting by. It's a nice home over to my left, and I mean to my right, excuse me. Let me center this thing up. It's a beauty. 23 East Town Street right ahead of me there. That's a beautiful home. And I'm just going to continue to walk down here. I'm just going to continue to walk down the East Town Street in a very historic section of Norwich. I highly recommend taking a drive down here and just walking around. Another beautiful home right there. Another historically significant property. Nice fenced wooden fence to my right as we sweep along the street here. Normally, again, below me, I'll take a look, but I don't think it's going to be too promising. Well, there's actually a little water down there, but that's stagnant. There's fish in there, little, I don't know what they are, minnows or something, but there's fish. But normally that would be flowing that way, and you would hear it flowing. It would be significant. There's a beautiful white barn. It's a picturesque, something, you know, if you're a painter, if you like drawing pictures or photography, there's a gorgeous yard, or kind of a little meadow, but it's mowed. I'm assuming one of the homes up there is probably the property owner, but get a load of that incredible white barn. If you ever want to take a ride down to East Town Street and get a real nice view, there it is. And we're going to walk up the street and see some older homes. When I say older homes, I mean some of the oldest houses in the country. Straight ahead. Back to Washington Street. To my left would be Scotland Road. It's another real old house there, beautiful. Scotland Road, and Canterbury Turnpike is up there. Okay, this is the Benedict Arnold Trail I'm still on. There's another real nice house up there. Right there. Beautiful home. It's another home. They're all around. Everywhere you look. This is a historic property. Speed limit on this road's 25 miles per hour. All right, okay, this home here, I don't see a date on it. It got an award of some kind in 2004. I don't see a date. A lot of times there'll be a date built in. Oh, wait a minute. On the side, 1785. Daniel Tracy, 1785. So that's going back a few years. There's another beautiful home right there. It's not as old as the 1700s, but okay, let's get a look at this. This is kind of I think it was a carriage house. Now it's converted into a full-size home. And there's a beautiful old, I'll try to find a date on that if I can. The one on the right here is Ezra Huntington 1771. It's one of the most beautiful houses in Norwich as far as I'm concerned. This house across the street, 1771. So that was a big year. Nice fence here. Beautiful yard. I mean, that is one heck of a gorgeous home right there. And so is that. Right there. So 1771, there's a lot of construction going on down around this location. It's another peek at the meadow down there. It's a home on my left for sale. Another historic property. The one on my right again, stunning, beautiful home. This one on my left was built in 1714, right there, 1714. That's going back a few years, folks. Let's face it. This one right here, Christopher Huntington, 1720. 1720. There's a dog barking off in the distance. Okay, house on my left. Let's take a look. This is all right around Lowthorpe Meadows, so if you want to take a walk around here, you can see a lot of really cool stuff. That was built in 1766. Right, let me square it up, right there. All right, let's see if I can slip between these cars down here. These guys, they park. I don't blame them. Get off the road. It's kind of a narrow road. Washington Street extension's a little narrow. And this brings us right back to where we began. Or almost to where we began. Let's go all the way down to this little section right here. I want to get one last good view of this meadow at this hour. I'll just pan as I walk. Let's see if I can get that fence out of there. There it is. Beautiful Lowthorpe Meadow. Let's get the widest view we can. It's probably down a little ways down here. Walking under what looks to be a cherry tree right here. All right. Yeah, we've come full circle. There it is, a beautiful, really a stunning view of Lowthorpe Meadows in Norwich Town, Connecticut. It's probably a good time to shut this thing down, folks. We walked around for about 40 minutes. I appreciate you coming along with me for this little walk. Thanks for joining me, folks.